Hi, I'm going to show you how to create a new playbook from scratch. So if you are in Manage Playbooks, you go to New Playbook and you can either build your own or create a playbook from a current document. Today I'm going to show you how to build your own, but we now also have the capability to build a playbook from a current document, which I will show you in the next video. So to build your own playbook, you will click that, and then you can tell the tool what you want to call the playbook. Today I'm going to build a general commercial playbook. I'm just going to call it that. And this will be a playbook that I can use on general commercial agreements where I don't have another playbook that is specific to that type of agreement. So once you do that, it will prompt you to add a new review rule. So here you can either freestyle it, so you can just say term, and you will say that this applies to the term of the agreement. Ensure that the term does not exceed 2 years. If it does, redline to reduce to 2 years. So what I've done there is I've written out a prompt using this framework here. This framework is called the ICA framework, Identify, Check, Act. And what we're doing is in the first instance, we're telling the tool where to look. So this applies to the choice of law of the agreement or the term of the agreement. Then we're telling it what to do, check that it's X. And then we're telling it what to do when the content of the agreement does not align with the rule that we've set out. So this is called the ICA framework, and it's a really easy way to just set out a very intuitive prompt to tell the AI what to do when it's looking at an agreement. I'm then going to select whether I want to redline the agreement in the event that the content of the agreement is inconsistent with the rule, or whether I just want it to flag it. So a redline will basically give me language to align the language in the agreement with the rule, and a suggestion will just be a flag to say, look at this because it's inconsistent, and then make a decision as to what you want to do. Some customers use this when they're sharing their playbooks with other people in the business, and they don't want those people who aren't that familiar with contract language to make any red lines to the agreement. They just want them to know when there's an inconsistency and then escalate that to legal. And they also use this function when they're less precious about the type of agreement or the type of rule that they're flagging. So if they don't always necessarily want to make a change, but they want to just be aware of the risks, or they just want to push it back to the other side and get them to make the changes, then suggestion is a better option. From there, you will also enable comments if you like. So if you want to ensure that there's always a comment that accompanies a red line, which is of course good practice, then you may enable comments. And here I'm going to say we require that the term is only 2 years. I mean, you will probably write a better comment than this, but this is just for the purposes of illustration, and then you can create your rule. Now, what we've also done to help you build playbooks from scratch is we have released a library of 100+ prompts. This spreadsheet will be linked at the bottom of this video. There are several types of agreements here and various types of prompt. So here we have a payment terms rule. This is not for you to copy this default position. This is just for you to assess whether this aligns with what you need the playbook to do, and if it doesn't, then you can just make the change. And here we have set out the structure of the prompt as I described earlier, so in the ICA fashion. And again, the reason we split these up is so that it's easier for you to amend if you need to. You can copy this spreadsheet onto your own drive, and you can make the changes as you see fit. So here, all you need to do, if you agree that payment terms should be no shorter than 30 days from the invoice date, as per the default position here, you just copy these 3 cells, and then you just introduce them here. So here I'm going to say payment terms. I'm going to paste that here. I'm going to say that it's a red line. I'm going to enable comments, and we've also included sample comments that you may actually agree with, because they're pretty standard reasons for which you would require a specific position within an agreement. I now create the rule, and so on. And so you can just go through and add more rules. I'm going to do that here. I want the supplier to not be allowed to assign the agreement without my prior consent. I'm just going to copy those there. I'm going to call this rule assignment. I'm going to copy that there. I'm going to say that I want it to give me a comment if I do redline. I'm going to copy this because I think it's reasonable. I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to create my rule, and so on. And you can now save and run that playbook, and then if you want to access that playbook again, all you need to do is go into your playbook libraries. So if you go here, review with playbook, here you will see the custom playbook which you've just created. So anything that you create either using AI or building from scratch will appear in custom, and then your standard playbooks will also appear at the bottom. These are pre-baked playbooks that all our Law Insider subscribers get access to when they subscribe to the Word add-in. And that's how you build out a playbook. Now, when you've built out your playbook, if you decide that you want to change certain rules, then you can just go into your playbook, click the three dots here, view rules, and you can just go through them. And if you change your position in the future, and for example, you want this to be 45, all you do is just change that to 40.5 here, and that's that. It's really, really easy to just build out your rule. Firstly, because you can just set out your prompt in natural language, but also because we have this library of 100 prompts that you can have access to help you build out your playbooks. That's it. Thanks.